My name is Erdim Kora. If you're reading this, it means I'm already dead. I don't have time for long introductions, and I doubt you have time to process everything I'm about to tell you. I'll go straight to the point. I've been researching an organization for 7 years. I never intended to. I was a journalist working on economic corruption. What started with an investigation into offshore accounts of a major bank turned into a trail that led to something unimaginable. This isn't about money, politics, or power, at least not in the way you think. This is about blood. A bloodline. A lineage that has ruled the world for over 800 years in the shadows. No, I'm not talking about the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, or any of those families that conspiracy theorists obsess over. Those families are puppets. The real rulers never appear in the spotlight. They've learned to hide, to let others take the blame, while they shape the course of human history from behind the curtain. I called them the eternal bloodline. You think kings, presidents, or billionaires run the world. They don't. They answer to someone, and those people answer to them. I discovered the family by accident. In the archives of a now-defunct Swiss bank, I found a contract dated 1847, signed by a man named Johann von Richten, authorizing the movement of gold assets to Constantinople. The strange part? The signature was identical to one on a land deed from 2021, same name, same handwriting. At first, I thought it was a coincidence. Maybe a descendant with the same name. But the deeper I looked, the more I found. Von Richten's name appeared in documents from the 1600s, 1,700 seconds, 1,800 seconds, all the way to the 21st century. Always the same handwriting. Always the same role. Owner, funder, or silent partner. I began compiling a list of individuals with similar patterns, unchanging identities, recurring names, signatures that never evolved. I found 12. 12 individuals, appearing consistently for over 8 centuries, involved in every major historical event you can imagine: wars, revolutions, collapses, booms. They don't age. Or if they do, they've found a way to reverse it. They're not immortal in a mythical sense. There's science behind it. Dark science. They call themselves the Circle. That's not what the public calls them. To the world, they are ghosts. But within the inner elite, there are whispers. The Circle is not a club or a secret society like the Bilderberg Group. It's a ruling entity. Each member has a domain. One oversees finance, another media, another energy, another pharmaceuticals, and so on. They don't compete. They cooperate. Perfectly. I traced a global pharmaceutical company that had patented a treatment for a rare blood condition. A condition so specific, it affects fewer than 30 people in the world. All 12 members of the Circle suffer from it. Coincidence? No. They are connected by blood, not metaphorically. They share a genetic mutation, one that grants them regenerative abilities, extreme intelligence, and a terrifying resistance to disease. This is what allows them to live beyond natural limits, but it comes at a cost. To sustain their mutation, they require fresh human blood, but not just any blood. It must come from individuals with a rare gene, one found only in about 1 in 100,000 people. These individuals are identified early, tracked, and recruited through fake health programs, orphanages, and even elite scholarship programs. They are never seen again. These aren't just rituals or symbolic sacrifices. It's biochemical. They harvest blood, organs, and even bone marrow to rejuvenate their bodies. They call this process the renewal. Every 33 years, the Circle holds a hidden ceremony known as the Reckoning, where they reset their public identities, liquidate puppet corporations, and vanish from the grid only to re-emerge under new names, new passports, but the same faces. Thanks to advanced surgical technologies and gene therapies unknown to modern science, they are ghosts in the machine. This was the part that broke me. They are decades, maybe centuries ahead in technology. Artificial intelligence, nanotech, genetic editing, quantum communication. We think we're just entering these fields. They invented them ... In 1999, a researcher named Dr. Emil Varga filed a classified patent for a self-healing biochip. I found that same chip in an autopsy report from a 2020 car crash victim in Norway, a man with no digital footprint, but DNA matching the von Richten profile. They don't just observe progress, they steer it. Why do some innovations disappear while others get mass adoption? Why do some pandemics change the world and others vanish overnight? Why do some nations rise from nothing while others collapse mysteriously? Because the circle decides, and they never act alone. In 2022, something shifted. A man appeared on the radar, Elon Musk. A billionaire, yes, but more than that. His companies were advancing at breakneck speed. Neuralink, Starlink, Tesla, SpaceX. Too fast. Too synchronized. He wasn't just building rockets or cars. He was building infrastructure for data, for power, for human integration with machines. He caught their attention. I found internal emails from a European investment group dated March 2023. One line chilled me. Musk has entered Phase 2. The von Richten protocol is in motion. What is Phase 2? I don't know exactly, but I do know this. Musk disappeared for 6 days in June 2023. His jet was grounded in Iceland. No meetings, no press, no photos. After he returned, Neuralink suddenly received unlimited clearance from regulatory agencies that had blocked it for years. Overnight, as if someone removed all obstacles, he made a deal. To understand how long this has been going on, I had to go back way back ... In the secret archives of the Vatican. There are records never shown to the public. Some of them were leaked in 2012 by an anonymous source known only as Gregor. These documents described a family traced from 1271 in Venice through Bavaria into Switzerland and eventually spreading like tendrils across Europe. They owned everything from the Venetian navy to early banking houses, monasteries, and private armies. They were never kings or emperors. They didn't need to be. They controlled kings. The documents referred to them cryptically as sanguis aeternum, the eternal blood, the same 12 names. Over and over. Different aliases. Same handwriting. One quote from a 1,499 letter haunts me. We are not rulers of men, but of time itself. There's one symbol that appears again and again in their history, a black circle with 12 rays. It was later adopted by the SS during the Nazi regime and placed in the floor of the Welsburg Castle. That symbol is called the Black Sun, but to the circle, it's a clock. Each ray represents a member. And when one dies or is eliminated, a new ray is drawn. It's a map of succession, a calendar of immortality. The Nazis didn't invent it. They discovered it. Heinrich Himmler, obsessed with the occult, tried to replicate their rituals. But he failed, because he wasn't one of them. He wasn't born into the bloodline. The Black Sun remains their secret crest. Hidden in architecture, logos, artworks, even defense contractor seals. Once you know what to look for, it's everywhere. All over the world, there are obelisks tall, pointed stone monuments. From Washington, D.C. to London to Rome to Luxor, they're not just decorations. Each obelisk marks a coordinate point in a global geomagnetic network. A grid the circle uses to conduct energy, real, measurable energy beneath the Earth's crust. Tesla hinted at this network in his world wireless system, but he was silenced before revealing the full map. These obelisks act as antennas, connecting not just satellites, but people. Cities with obelisks show higher rates of surveillance, neurological disorders, and sudden behavioral shifts. It's not magic. It's frequency manipulation. The circle uses these to maintain control, not through bullets, through resonance. In 2024, 12 children disappeared across 6 countries. All were between 11 and 13. All had a rare blood type. All were prodigies. And no ransom. No suspects. No coverage beyond local papers. I tracked one family in Belgium. Their daughter, Elise, vanished after attending a scholarship interview in a historic building in Antwerp. The building was owned by a shell corporation linked back to a holding company in Zurich owned by someone named J. von Richten. When I reached out to the parents, they begged me not to continue. They had received something in the mail after their daughter vanished, a single sheet of paper with only 12 words. Your bloodline has served. The circle thanks you. Do not search. Elon Musk publicly promotes artificial intelligence as humanity's greatest threat, yet he invests billions into it. Why? Because the circle doesn't fear AI. They intend to use it to become gods through it. I found a white paper leaked from a lab in Finland working on cognitive preservation. The paper outlined the uploading of consciousness into synthetic substrates, quantum matrices, designed to simulate human thought with zero latency. One footnote referenced a project called Endater.u.s. A T means mind in ancient Greek. It's being funded by a consortium with no name. But the LLC's director is N.E. von Richten. They don't plan to die. They plan to transcend flesh. There's one thing the circle fears: exposure. That's why they built Echelon, Prism, SkiScore, and Project Nimbus global surveillance programs hidden behind anti-terrorism laws. But they're not just watching terrorists, they're watching everyone. I contacted a former NSA contractor in 2023 who showed me internal dashboards. One algorithm was labeled VIR, Threat Index short for von Richten. This AI didn't monitor for bombs or threats. It tracked people who searched for specific terms. Eternal blood, obelisk resonance, 12 bloodlines, Musk initiation. They're scrubbing the internet in real time. If you get too close, they see you, like they saw me. In a vault beneath the old city of Jerusalem lies a scroll kept sealed for centuries. It's known as the Codex of 72. Only fragments have leaked. But what they say is chilling. The Codex speaks of 12 lines of origin, born from a ritual held during a blood eclipse over Babylon. Each line was bound by oath and blood to preserve a fragment of knowledge, 72 names, each representing a divine function: creation, war, disease, mind, time. The circle believes they carry this knowledge in their blood, that it's coded in their DNA. That each child born to the line is a vessel. They don't worship gods. They believe they are the continuation of them. There are ruins in the Atlantic, deeper than any modern civilization can reach. Sonar scans captured symmetrical structures far beyond natural formations. In 2011, a private dive mission funded by a Luxembourg foundation found something. They never published the report, but one diver anonymously leaked this line. The symbols matched the von Richten seal. 12 sigils. Same blood code. This discovery was buried, but I traced the foundation again, back to a Swiss investment group. Guess who sat on the advisory board? A. von Richten, FAD, mythohistory specialist. They weren't just searching for history, they were looking for home. In Svalbard, Norway, lies the Global Seed Vault, a facility designed to protect the planet's agricultural future. That's the cover story. What they're really storing isn't just seeds, but genomes. Blood samples. DNA libraries. I found procurement records showing shipments labeled Homo sanguinis R with cold storage levels only used for living tissue. The circle is archiving themselves, preparing for a reset. Not just economic. Biological, because if the world burns, they plan to replant it with their kind. In 2020, a high-level cyber breach hit the Vatican. Officially, it was labeled as state-sponsored. Unofficially, the breach revealed non-canonical documents locked in the Archivum Secretum. One folder was titled Linea Eterna, Latin for eternal line. Double quotes. It contained bloodline maps, ritual transcriptions, and a red-sealed document called Initiatio Sanguinis, the blood initiation. It named Elon Musk. Dated 2015, the church has known. The silence wasn't holy, it was purchased. The circle doesn't fear religion. They funded it as a tool. You've heard of the World Economic Forum, the Bilderberg Group, the Council on Foreign Relations, but there's a fourth foundation that never appears on public lists. Its name appears only once in a declassified CIA memo from 1973, Fondatio Cordis, Asset Protection for Lineage Entities, their objective. Ensure continuity of the original 12. Through war, famine, regime change. Guess who signed the memo? G. Hugh Bush, CIA director, but next to his name, handwritten in ink, Vaughn R. Double quotes. It was never about national security. It was blood security. Every 88 years, a secret gathering is held in the Black Forest of Germany, 12 chairs, 12 families. One agreement, the marriage pact binds the bloodlines through selective breeding offspring chosen not by love, but by genetic compatibility. Traits preserved, mutations removed. I found a leaked guest list from 2009. Next to Elon Musk, a handwritten note. Potential consort Linea D. Line D is von Dierenstein, one of the founding lines from Austrian nobility. Extinct? No hidden. Absorbed, marriage isn't about union. It's about consolidation. The throne needs heirs. Silicon Valley is the new Vatican. Apple, Google, Meta, OpenAI, none of them are accidental. Their founders all received seed capital from the same shell group, Vir Holdings Ltd., based in Liechtenstein. Their contracts include non-compete clauses on biosignal capture, neural imprinting, and dream state modulation. That's not tech regulation. That's domain control. The goal? Not to connect the world. To map it, not just behavior but consciousness. One Google engineer leaked the following line. We're not building AI. We're building a mirror. For them. In 2024, during the excavation of an ancient site in Sudan, archaeologists uncovered a black obelisk made of unknown alloy. The artifact emitted a low-frequency pulse. It wasn't stone. It was coated metal. Weeks later, the site was locked down. No photos. No samples. One researcher went missing. Another posted a cryptic message before going dark. The obelisk is a beacon. DNA activates it. But only one bloodline can do it. The von Richten family crest contains an obelisk. Always has. They're not waiting for a signal. They've already heard it. In a private research facility in Zurich, hidden under the guise of fertility treatments, a program called Project Eve has been running since 1998. The objective: implant fertilized embryos from preselected bloodlines into surrogate mothers, DNA edited, memories embedded. These aren't test tube babies. They're legacy vessels born with instincts that don't belong to them. One nurse leaked footage, a child, barely 4, speaking fluent Latin unprompted, Another recited the names of all 12 families before kindergarten. These children aren't raised, they're activated. Every intelligence agency has a Judas switch, a silent kill protocol embedded into assets deemed too informed, whistleblowers, disillusioned elites, rogue scientists, but the circle doesn't use poison or bullets. They use persona collapse, sudden scandals, implanted memories, digital erasure. The victim becomes a villain overnight. Case studies. Aaron Swartz dead, Chelsea Manning reprogrammed, Julian Assange trapped, then erased. The Judas switch isn't for traitors, it's for truth tellers. When Elon announced Neuralink, the world saw innovation. The circle saw containment. The true project is ArcNet, a cognitive backup protocol tied to genetic identifiers. When fully deployed, each mind linked to the system will have its consciousness mirrored and stored, but only accessible by those with lineage clearance. In simple terms, you think you're using tech, but your soul is being archived. The cloud isn't storage, it's a vault, and only they hold the key. There are 12 families, but only 11 visible names in every recovered document. The 12th is always missing, redacted, or marked only by a symbol, known in whispered circles as the empty air. Some say it's a lineage erased from history. Others say it's a sleeper line activated only when the others fail. Elon Musk's name appears in marginalia with this note. Subject exhibits traits of seat 12. Unverified. Observe closely. He's not joining them. He might be replacing one of them, or worse. He is the 12th. The circle believes in cycles, each 800 years. The structure must reset. The last reset, 1224. The next, 2024. But this time, they're not just transferring power, they're transcending it. Through blood, code, and memory, they will upload themselves, abandoning physical form. Elon isn't building rockets to reach Mars. He's building an escape route. For them. Not us. The great filter isn't coming ... It already happened, and we weren't chosen. In Greenland, under the ice, there's a vault that isn't on any map. It's not for seeds or data. It's for genes, called the cradle. It houses the unedited genetic templates of the 12 families pre-CRISPR, pre-modification, pre-sin. The goal? In case of catastrophic mutation or rebellion, they can be reset to an earlier version of themselves. Immortality doesn't mean forever. It means restarting without consequences. The cradle isn't a backup, it's a second womb, and it's already been opened. Global politics. Theater. The circle uses countries like chess pieces, manufacturing conflict to move assets, crash economies, and test loyalty. The United Nations was their experiment in global integration. It failed. Now they push forward with the Veil, a secretive digital infrastructure that will replace nations with zones of influence based on bloodline jurisdiction. Borders will vanish, not in the name of unity, but in the name of inheritance. If you're not claimed by a family, you're not a citizen, you're a tenant. Not all experiments were successes. Some offspring of the bloodlines were rejected, born with wrong instincts, broken minds, or uncontrolled rage. Rather than kill them, the circle exiled them. To old asylums, underground cities, abandoned systems. They are the forgotten children, mutated descendants who remember just enough to hate what created them. They are not part of the plan, but they are many, and they are awakening. If there's a rebellion coming, it won't come from us, it'll come from within the blood. You've been told ascension means light, a new age, harmony, but the circle's version of ascension is exclusion. When they upload their minds, when they sever from the human condition, they will leave only husks behind. Politicians, influencers, and tech CEOs are being groomed as hosts, empty vessels programmed to obey. Post-ascension, the world will feel unchanged. Your bank will still work. Your shows will still stream. But no one real will be left in charge. The circle will have moved on. We will be left behind, forever governed by their ghosts. In the oldest room beneath Vatican archives, a throne remains untouched since the 1300s, carved from black stone, etched with DNA sequences. It reacts only to one bloodline. The family name has never been spoken aloud, not once in 800 years, but the circle calls it the true line each generation. The throne glows red only once, a test. Elon Musk sat in it. It reacted. But it dimmed, meaning he is close but not the one. Not yet. The true heir is still hidden, born, unaware, waiting, and when they rise, the circle will kneel, because this isn't just a dynasty, it's a species, and they were never human.